This transfer saga just exploded, and trust me, you'll want to hear every twist because it's not just a simple story of a striker moving clubs. This one involves broken promises, dressing room politics, a furious fanbase, and 5 shocking exit routes that could reshape Nicolas Jackson's entire career. Let's dive in. Picture this, just 1 year ago. Chelsea put their faith in Nicolas Jackson. They gave him the number 9 shirt, a shirt that has haunted so many strikers before him. Fernando Torres, Gonzalo Higuain, all big names. All failed to live up to the expectations. But Jackson, he was supposed to be different. Young, fearless, explosive. Chelsea fans thought this was the striker who would finally break the curse. And for a moment, it looked like he just might. Remember his stunning hat-trick against Tottenham? That night, Stamford Bridge was alive again. The fans believed. They thought finally, we've got our man. But football is cruel. As quickly as the hype built, doubts crept in. Missed chances. Heavy touches. Frustrating moments in front of goal. Pundits criticized him. Opposition fans mocked him. And even some Chelsea supporters began to lose patience, booing from the stands. For a young player, the pressure was suffocating. And just as those doubts grew, the whispers started. Whispers of interest from Europe's biggest clubs. And then came the bombshell. Bayern Munich. The German giants have been rebuilding ever since Robert Lewandowski left. Yes, they signed Harry Kane. But deep inside the club, there's a feeling that something is still missing. They want pace. They want unpredictability. They want a raw gem who can be shaped into a world-class weapon. And Bayern see all of that in Nicolas Jackson. Reports from inside Germany say Bayern have already agreed personal terms with Jackson. The only thing left is Chelsea's green light. And that has sent shockwaves through West London. Imagine it, a player Chelsea trusted, a player they built into their new era, suddenly being courted by one of the most ruthless clubs in Europe. Bayern Munich don't play around. If they want someone, they usually get them. But here's the twist. Chelsea are torn. Their new owners have spent over £1 billion, yet the team still can't score enough goals. Do they gamble on Jackson again? Or do they cut their losses and cash in after just 1 season? Behind the scenes, the decision has been brutal. And according to insiders, Chelsea have already made up their minds. Nicolas Jackson is available. Which brings us to the question that every Chelsea fan is now asking. If he leaves, where does he go? Because Bayern Munich aren't the only option. There are 4 more doors opening, each one with its own risks and rewards. The first door, of course, is Bayern Munich itself. On paper, it looks perfect. A striker who thrives on pace and space, moving to a league where strikers feast on goals. Picture Jackson being fed by Leroy Sane and Jamal Musiala. Picture him running through Bundesliga defenses. It sounds like a dream. But here's the danger. Bayern Munich are ruthless. They don't wait for players to adapt. If you don't deliver, you're out. And if Jackson misses the same kind of chances he has missed in England, this dream move could turn into a nightmare very quickly. But Bayern aren't the only ones. Because the second door might shock you even more. It's a Premier League rival. Yes, believe it or not, whispers inside England say Tottenham and West Ham are keeping a close eye on Jackson. Shocking, right? Spurs, still recovering from Kane's departure, are searching for the next big striker. Ange Postecoglou wants pace, movement, energy. Jackson ticks those boxes. And at West Ham, with Michail Antonio aging, they desperately need a number 9. But let's pause here for a moment. Could Chelsea really sell Nicolas Jackson to a direct rival? Could they risk him scoring goals against them in the same league? Stranger things have happened in football, and that, my friends, is only the beginning. Because beyond Bayern, beyond the Premier League, lies another door. One that could completely change the way Nicolas Jackson plays his football. A return to Spain, a reunion with La Liga. So far, Bayern Munich and a Premier League rival look like serious options. But the third door in this saga. It leads Nicolas Jackson back to where it all began. Spain. Jackson grew up in Villarreal. La Liga was the league that shaped him. And even today, Spanish clubs see him as unfinished business. Atletico Madrid, in particular, are watching closely. Think about it. Under Diego Simeone, strikers don't just score goals. They fight, they battle, they survive. Jackson's raw pace and work ethic could make him a perfect weapon for Simeone's system. And if there's one club in Europe that knows how to revive strikers who've struggled elsewhere, it's Atletico. But here's the risk. Simeone's football is demanding. Not every striker adapts. Some thrive, others fade away. Could Jackson handle the grind of La Liga again? Or would the move expose his weaknesses even further? And yet, Spain isn't the only route open. Because the fourth door Chelsea are considering is even more surprising. A loan move. Yes, you heard that right. Chelsea may refuse to cut ties permanently. Instead, they might choose to send Jackson away on loan, much like they did with Romelu Lukaku. Serie A clubs like AC Milan and Napoli are already monitoring the situation. Both need a striker. Both have a history of taking players who struggled in England and turning them into stars. Just look at Olivier Giroud in Milan, or Victor Osimhen in Napoli. A loan could buy Jackson time. Time to rebuild his confidence. Time to sharpen his finishing. Time to prove himself away from the brutal spotlight of Stamford Bridge. But let's be honest. A loan also carries another message. It says, "We don't fully trust you." And once a club stops trusting you, the return is never easy. And then, there's the wildest, most controversial door of them all. The one that could change Jackson's life forever. Saudi Arabia. The Saudi Pro League has already lured some of the biggest stars in football. Ronaldo, Neymar, Benzema, Mane. They have the money, the influence, and the hunger for young talent. Jackson could become the face of their next wave. Imagine it. A massive paycheck, instant stardom, and the chance to escape the constant criticism in England. For a player under pressure, that sounds tempting, but here's the dilemma. Nicolas Jackson is just 23. Would moving to Saudi Arabia at this stage of his career be a career-defining mistake? Or a golden opportunity? Would he become a forgotten talent, lost to Europe's spotlight? Or would he cash in now, setting up his future for life? So there you have it. 5 doors. 5 possible exits. Bayern Munich, a Premier League rival, Atletico Madrid, a Serie A loan, or a Saudi Arabian adventure. Each one comes with massive risks and massive rewards. But here's the real twist. This decision isn't just about Jackson, it's about Chelsea. It's about everything the new ownership promised when they took charge. They said this was a new era. They said they'd build for the future. They said young players would be developed, not discarded. If Chelsea sell Jackson after just 1 year, it's an admission of failure, a sign that the so-called project is already breaking down. And for fans, that's the hardest pill to swallow. Some fans say Jackson deserves patience. They see his tireless running, his movement, his flashes of brilliance. They argue, give him time, he will come good. Others say Chelsea can't afford to wait. In modern football, strikers are judged by one thing, goals. And goals win trophies. So, what happens next? Right now, Bayern Munich are circling. Talks are advanced. Personal terms are reportedly agreed. All that's left is Chelsea's decision. Do they press the button? Imagine it. Nicolas Jackson walking out at the Allianz Arena, wearing the famous red kit, determined to silence his critics. Or maybe, he takes another path, battling in La Liga, reviving his career in Italy, or chasing fortune in Saudi Arabia. One thing is certain. This saga isn't ending quietly. For Nicolas Jackson, the next move could define his entire legacy. Will he rise as one of Europe's most feared strikers? Or fade into the long list of players who couldn't survive the chaos of Chelsea Football Club? The clock is ticking. The world is watching. And Nicolas Jackson's future hangs in the balance. So, I ask you, if you were Nicolas Jackson, which path would you choose?